And good morning. It is Thursday as we bring this day in, and as you're in the Lauderdale County area, Newton County area, you can hear the thunder rolling as we've got a lot of thunderstorms out to the west. We are under a 1 level today through about 2 p.m. of some severe weather, but it's a level 1 as we watched everything roll through last night. We were very fortunate on the Mississippi side. On the Alabama side, not as lucky. There were several tornadoes and warnings that were issued late in the evening as this left the Macon area and made its way on into Alabama. If I can use my hands this morning, it's a habit. Sometimes it's hard to break. Extremely warm today, 78. Now, all of this is going to change come Sunday night. We're only going to have a high on Sunday of about 48, and the nighttime low is going to hit 25, to where we're seeing all this nearly 80-degree weather. And right now, I think we're at like 72. Let me go back and check this if I remember right, and that's just too hot. 72 right now for this time of year, unheard of. So that means we've got severe weather, and that's going to be Saturday. We'll keep you up to date on that. Let's go ahead and look at radar and kind of show you where things are. Let's see here. Lightning in downtown already as Brian McCary is passing through the downtown Meridian area. Let's see here. And again, if you're watching from the Newton area out to our west, you're getting pounded right now if you're traveling I-20. Let's pull up radar here. And this is what we've got. Let's turn on location so you can see a little bit more of what it's close to. Starting to ease into Lauderdale County. Here's Highway 19 right here. This is going to be coming up on Freeman Tractor on 494 and then cross into the Collinsville area as well. Downtown Meridian should get wet also. This is just due north of Lazy Acres Christmas Tree Farm. Let's see here. Right here where Rock Hill Church is, north of I-20. Showers all around it. As we come out, as you come along and you get within a couple of miles of where the exit is to go to Rose Mobile Homes, it's going to be extremely heavy. This is that rain that causes wrecks. We don't need any more of that. So if you're traveling west out of Meridian, or if you're traveling into Meridian from the Newton area, drive slower this morning. Use caution. Hickory all through there. When you get to those exits, it's going to be pouring, and you'll get a small break before you get to the Newton exit, but still a lot of rain there. As we go down, and we're showing rain all the way down past Myers Processing there on Highway 15. As we get to there. North of there, if you're going to be traveling toward Decatur this morning, as you get near Lazy Boy, it's pouring in all that area. And also, if you take the back road in here from Hickory to Decatur, those two roads there are just slammed with rain this morning. As we glance into all this, Lebanon and Blunt Store area there, McKee Road, all of that taking gobs of rain right now. So be careful if you've got to travel in those areas, and expect this to be coming here. And as you look at the Collinsville area right now, it's just light rain, but this is that old rain that causes wrecks. If you speed and you slam on brakes, or you just go your normal speed that you do on a dry day and slam on your brakes to stop sign at the last minute, it's going to be havoc, and it'll be another fender bender. We had a pretty serious wreck yesterday afternoon. 5 to 6 cars were involved there at mile marker 119. It was in the westbound lane, right there close to where you would exit to go to Chunky. A log truck was involved in several cars. Be careful. Those can happen without warning. We'll get more into all of that this morning beginning at 8 a.m. I hope you'll join us as we'll break down what went on in and around the area last night. As we pull this up while we're here, let's just go ahead and look at things across the state. We've got some showers here in Pearl River. This is going to be Highway 15. If you're making your way out of Union, Decatur, this way toward Philadelphia, you're going to get into a lot of rain. Some light showers now on Highway 19. Not bad, but this will come across 19 at some point. So be careful. Light showers on the skirts of Philadelphia this morning. We got some showers over here at Walnut Grove, which is southeast of Carthage. Light showers above DeKalb, below DeKalb there. Winston County looks good at this point, but we've got a lot of fog in the northern part of the state here. That northwest corner where it meets up with Memphis right there. South Haven, all of that covered in fog. Greenwood light showers, and this goes back on into Little Rock, Arkansas. Texarkana, Shreveport is going to be a heck to travel in this morning, those interstates around there, and as well as Lake Charles through Beaumont and Houston. When you get to the Houston city limits in between Katy, around in that area down to Victoria to Corpus Christi, havoc, bad. As we look at Tuscaloosa, now let's focus on what happened last night. Serious weather as it rolled through most of Alabama last night. It got ugly. Due south of Pelham. Here's Birmingham here. Right here were the two tornadoes that were issued last night. Limbs down on I-65 near 224, debris signature on radar. So they did have some damage there. As we come across to the second one here, trees were down all along Highway 145 about a mile north of the Shelby-Chilton County line. Debris. That was two tornadoes for sure there. Now, as you go north of the Birmingham, north of Tuscaloosa area, up in all of these areas, we see that these are storms that come out of the Columbus area last night. A lot of wind damage with this. These weren't tornadoes, but they were definitely a lot of wind done to this. Trees down near the train tracks on Highway 129 near Glen Allen. As you come across here, here's Jasper, Alabama. You go north here. Here's Pell City, Birmingham, due north of there. Look at all this wind damage of different things that happened here. Trees down. It's numerous ones. So they had some rough weather rock the area through there. And a lot of fog up here in between the eastern side of Alabama through Chattanooga. Fog advisories all through Jackson, Tennessee, Nashville, Murfreesboro. Y'all have got that this morning. It is just a foggy morning nationwide. And if you've got to travel, be careful. And I can hear and I'm sure that y'all do where you're sitting this morning. You hear that thunder rolling out there. It reminds you of that old Garth Brooks song. It does roll. As we glance out across this, a lot of snow up here in the Dakotas, on out through Montana. Those are extremely cold areas this morning. Negative 13, and if I'm pronouncing that name right, Tioga, North Dakota. Not the place to be at this moment here. As we go over to, boy, that got worse, didn't it? Negative 18 in Plentywood, Montana. I guess I'll stick with this 78-degree weather that we've got here in the deep south. Whoa. I can't imagine how you could even stand to go outside to get the firewood. It takes a strong person to handle that. But that's the temperatures up there. Some light showers up in the eastern border of the United States, and also some in California. Raining a little bit there. That's a glance at what we've got across nationwide this morning. But as we zoom back in on this weather that we've got rolling into Lauderdale County, and it's made its way as radar updates. Now, this is in Lauderdale County, and we look at this and show these locations here. Y'all be ready. 494, Highway 19, this is coming across, and it's going to be heavy. So if you're sitting in Collinsville, anywhere along in here getting ready to go to work, be prepared because it's going to be a wet one. Give yourself an extra 10 minutes or so, at least 10 minutes on the road because it's slick. You don't want to speed on all of this. That's a quick look at radar right now as we look at this. A couple of the headlines before we dig deeper into the National Weather Service and what they're predicting. The city of Meridian, all the offices are going to be closed until January the 3rd due to COVID, taking precaution. So that's not that much longer. A lot of folks were out already, and they're taking precautions of the numerous people that are getting sick. I can hear the rain now moving in here in the light rain moving in out in the Bailey area. As we look at this, Jackson also following suit like Meridian. They are closing down, executive order closing down City Hall due to COVID in the Jackson area. We'll watch this case, and we'll get more into this also. National headlines this morning. Ghislaine Maxwell. She was found guilty yesterday. Now, the big question that everybody asked, and I imagine there's a lot of nervous people this morning after that went on yesterday. They've been sweating bullets. Will she start giving up names to reduce her sentence? That's going to be a tricky one there. That is a messy, messy case. We'll watch that carefully to see what becomes of that. They say she was just nuts about that old boy. We have sad news that comes out of North Carolina. A retired sheriff's daughter was there. She was 3 years old, and somebody came to visit them for Christmas, and somehow or another she got into the pickup truck of the neighbor that had come to visit them, and she accidentally shot and killed herself with a gun that was on the dash. That was in North Carolina. Just horrible. I hate to even talk about subjects like that, but that did happen there. Lots of stories like that. We did have some reports of gunshot in the area last night around our area. We had some that was reported out in the Collinsville area on Wilsondale Road. Also around Highland Park, we had gunshots reported. Now, we have to be careful this time of year. No one was caught on either one of these instances. Could it have been fireworks? That does happen, and I think a lot of that's going to be reported in between now and throughout the weekend. So maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It was reported as gunfire, but very well could have been fireworks. Some of those are loud. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt. We can't make any promises on any of it, but at the end of the day, no one was hurt on any of that, which is the good news on that. We also, as we go down, this is sad news, as we go to the DeSoto community and we go to Clark County Hot Topics, a family lost their home here. As you look at this, let me pull this up where you can see that. Total loss for them. The emergency management's helping them out. The Red Cross has been notified to help there. They lost everything they had there in the DeSoto community. So our thoughts and our prayers go out to them. Also, we'll get more into detail of the person that passed away yesterday in the Lauderdale County area. I started getting a lot of text of, hey, what's going on up at 22nd Avenue? And the further we dug into it, for it to be such a big presence, there wasn't a lot being said, and it ended up being that a gentleman pulled in, from my understanding, to fuel up his truck or to stop to get a cold drink or whatever the case was, and was found slumped over the steering wheel, and he'd, from the best of my knowledge, had a heart attack. He was a county worker for Lauderdale County. We pass along condolences to his family. How horrible this time of year for something like that to happen. It hits home. From what I understand, a young fella. So our hearts go out to them. We pass along condolences to y'all. Such sad news to have to say on subjects like that. But that did. We'll talk more about that coming up this morning at 8 as well. I hope you'll join us for that to pick up on a few things. And as always, we do appreciate it. We get 99% of all of our stories from you. If you see something, inbox us, let us know about it so we can pass this on to others. Whether it's a wreck, it saves people a lot of heartache, especially with traffic jams, to know that there's something where they can take another route. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all passing along the information that you do. We got a lot of stories that have been sent in that I'm working on behind the scenes to get the answers to. Today is Tuesday, isn't it? I did have reports. This was Thursday, so that would have been Tuesday night after 10 a.m. A car was struck, from what I understand. It was reported. Let me word it that way. It was reported that it was on I-20 and was hit with gunfire. A single bullet, from what I understand, hit a car. That's reported. I have not got 100% confirmation on that, but that was reported. That was one of the things that we were working on. No one was struck, but it did scare a bunch of people. Don't blame them. Don't know where the shot was fired from. It was investigated, from my understanding. As we get more into that, I hope to get more details on that to pass along, but scary nonetheless. We'll pass along as much on that as we can as we dig deeper into that. And again, the way I have to word that is reported. That is 100% the truth. I have not gotten police reports to back up all of that, but we're working on all of that. But just a heads up this time of year, know your surroundings. I've mentioned that several times. Know what's going on around you there. Let's say a few good mornings to folks. Miss Jenny Calvert-Jones, how are you today? Myra Gentry is up. Miss LaWanda Grantham, love seeing you there. Miss Charlotte Gray, watching from the Philadelphia area. Donna Roseman, Bree Packer, how are you? Miss Joyce Stamper, she's my buddy. I like her. Brian Troy, good morning. Rachel Grapple, how are you? Glad to see you there. Donna Eldridge is up. Steve and Wanda McKinnon, Bernadette Odom, Joy Robinson, how are you? Brian McCary, we mentioned him. Sandy Kaz, she hopes everybody has a new year. We do too. Bree says it's rumbling there in the Decatur area. Sandy Kaz, a little wet right now. Pamela, watching us from the Hickory. Looks like she might have a shower or two in that area. Wendy says no rain in Newton County, but thunder and lightning where she is. Linda Todd Accord, good morning. Janice Bounds is up along with Lamar Hembry. Good morning, Lamar. Pass along condolences to your family as well, from what I understand. Thinking about y'all. Sandy Kaz, good morning. Good rain in Chunky, she says. Flora Overstreet is up in Hickory. Braxton Scarborough, raining in Collinsville now. Flora Overstreet is there, along with Pat and Jim Coker. How are y'all? Good morning to Cornbread, my friend Nick. Allie Hughes is up. Good morning, girl. Got your hat on in your profile picture there. I see that. Good morning to Wayne and Dolores Roberts. Also John Etheridge, Denise Burnside, Donna Eldridge, Mark Overby, Russell Keene. Also Sandy White is up. How are y'all doing? Storming out her back door. Luce Barrett, how are you today, Luce? Glad to see you're up. Ben Edwards, Janet Lightsey, and Joyce Parker Poole joining us today. Don't forget, when it comes time to fireworks, don't forget my friend. You can go out and see Charlie any day of the week, and he'll help you there at the southeast area if you're looking for fireworks at the Red Barn. You see them right there at the red light. Largest one in the area. Drop in and see Charlie, and he'll help you pick out exactly what you need as you head toward New Year's. We'll get more into all of that and all the good things that are happening. All right, let's turn now and dig deeper into what the National Weather Service has to tell us for today. Let's do that.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we dig into our record highs and record lows, it was 21. That it was a record high of 84, and I thought we were going to surpass that yesterday. I had in my head it was like 77, but we'll see about the record for yesterday being broken. Today, it's 84 that we got to beat to make a new record. The record low of today was 9 back in 1894. I don't know if y'all heard that or not, but that rattled some windows right then. As we go through this, we see that showers likely today, at least through about 1 o'clock. 78 for the high today. As we get to Philadelphia and we get into Winston County up through there, looks like y'all have about 76. Mississippi State, y'all should expect 74. Out to our west, Vicksburg may hold the record there and tying around Natchez and Hattiesburg area, 80 to 81 in those areas. We'll watch that. Now, as we cut across to Alabama, they're expecting severe weather, as we mentioned. We'll show you the route on that of what the National Weather Service has for us. They've got rain from Tuscaloosa, southeastern through Demopolis, all of these areas. Light rain right along in here. As we look at this is the severe weather that is possible today. And we hear all that rumbling, and it should be over and done by 2 p.m., and I expect it will. But this takes in portions of Kemper County and just that little bitty corner there of Noxubee County. It takes in Clark County. And this is a number 1, eastern Newton County. That's a marginal risk of this. Damaging wind gusts, hail up to a quarter size, and isolated thunderstorms. As we look at the Bama side of this, they're giving it a little bit more area than the Mississippi. It'll expand once it gets over here. And this should go through about 2 p.m. for the most part as well, like they're giving Mississippi. As we look at this, there is a flash flood watch today for these areas north of Demopolis through Tuscaloosa, taking in all of Gadsden, all the way to the edge of the state line there. So wet weather in store for our friends there on the Alabama side. Aerial flood watch there is what we want to watch. As we look at severe weather possible today, that's what they got there in Alabama there from 6 until 3 p.m. this afternoon. They're giving it an hour longer than the Mississippi side, damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles an hour. So pay attention there if you're going to be on this eastern side. We look at Saturday. And again, all points, this could be worse weather on Saturday than we saw yesterday. The Meridian area was really spared. It didn't get bad. It got into Alabama. But when you have temperatures that are at 80 and then it's going to drop dramatically in half is when severe weather can happen, and it could be bad. So we're going to really watch what goes on Saturday. Now, this is going to be afternoon. From 2 to about 10 p.m. that we're going to have to watch this weather as it rolls through. Now, we've got, if you'll look at the line at this point, all this area at one point was all a level 2. They've reduced portions of this. That extreme Shibuda now is going to be a level 1 and northward there. Most of Clark County will be a level 2 on into Lauderdale County up to the northern portions of the state, taking in all of Jackson. But it starts right there at Clark and just cuts across and goes due west, separating the 1 from the 2 area. And again, that's an imaginary line. Just because you're in Shibuda doesn't mean that you can't get some bad weather. But we'll watch it, be on top of it for you as Saturday gets there. But as we predict, Saturday should be worse than this round that we had yesterday due to the temperature changes. It just causes bad things to happen, and we'll watch that very closely. So be weather alert. If you do not own a NOAA weather radio, I highly suggest buying one of those for your home. They're not expensive, and they're very loud. They will wake you up. You will learn to dislike it if you like sleeping in the middle of the night. But it's worth buying the ones that you can set the counties to. Some just go off if anything is listed in the state, but you can spend an extra $15, I think it is, the one that I've got, and you can program the counties that you want to go off. Makes it a little bit better, and you don't get woke up on everything that happens that's not around you, depending upon how you want to do that. But they will save a life. Well worth it. They're very loud, and they're battery backed up, even if your power goes out. Don't rely on sirens only. To be careful. All right, let's go look at this of what we've got here as we look at the temperatures for the next 6 to 10 days. Still above average here. And this is where we're going to get these storms as it comes across here. As we see this is well below where we were looking at a negative 18 up here in Montana earlier this morning. Wow, wow, and wow. All right, let's look at our breakdown now as we look at this 6 to 7 day outlook here for us of what we've got. We look at today's forecast, and it is an 80% chance of showers. Should end by 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 p.m., high of 78. That's hot. Will decrease to 30% tonight after 4 a.m., increasing clouds with a low of 64. So the temperature has not changed yet. And that was some loud thunder. As we look at tomorrow, as we bring in the last day of the year, 40% chance of thunderstorms, mainly before lunch with a high of 78. And it looks like great time as we bring in New Year's. Only a 20% chance of showers in those evening hours to where you'll be able to shoot fireworks and bring in the new year. New Year's Day becomes the bad day for weather, as we'll watch this closely on Saturday with severe weather. A 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms throughout the day. And again, the worst of the weather will be late in the afternoon on Saturday. We're going to have wind gusts of about 30 miles an hour on New Year's Day. Saturday night, 70% chance of showers ending by midnight. Now, this is where the change happens. We go from 80 degrees roughly on New Year's Day here. And look at this high Sunday, 48 with a low of 25 on Sunday night. It's going to be cold. Monday night, 28, 38 on Tuesday. This is going to be a drastic change in weather. As we all know, we all get sick when these temperatures change like this, but be weather alert with us. I'll be here throughout all the hours to let you know what happens. Let's go a few more days into the new year, go all the way through the 13th, and we see that the nighttime lows start getting into the 30s. Wednesday, the 5th, we'll have 65. That'll be one of the warmer days. And then we start seeing it drop off and kind of level into the 50s and low 60s as we make it through mid-month of January. Nothing bad cold. So that tells us February could be the month that is burr. We'll see. What about deer hunting today? Let's look at that, of what the best times to go out today. Deer feeding times today. First major time is going to be a lunchtime hunt from 10 until lunch, and then another minor time that you could go 4 till 5 o'clock this afternoon. A quick look at that. The winds today will be south-southwest around 5 miles an hour with a gust of 20, so it's going to be a very gusty day if you're going to be on a tree somewhere. That's a way to look at that. Now let's go back to radar, since I hear everything cutting up outside here. And as we look at Lauderdale County, it's being covered with rain now. Let's pull this up where you can see it. We've got this starting over here, right here at Little Rock, and this is going to come on across Battlefield out to West Lauderdale, where Chet's is in the corner there. Some heavy rain there, but heavier rain back there by West Lauderdale High School. This is the elementary. This is the high school. Heavy showers down West Lauderdale Road. This takes in all of the Pig, all the way out here to Bailey in these areas here. This is the telephone company, the old one there, across Highway 494. 19 is heavy rain. It's just shy of reaching right there at State Boulevard extension coming up to the country store. But if you're on Pine Springs Road today, it is raining horrific right now. Chamberville, out in these areas there. We're going to get some light rain in downtown Meridian. Still moderate heavy rain there around Hickory and those areas there. So that's what we're showing up right now in Lauderdale County. You be careful if you're pulling out leaving home this morning. This is like can cause a wreck. It's the serious stuff. We want you to be careful there. That's our outlook this morning so far as we watch this. And should something more come of this, we'll break in and let you know. But right now, it's one of those rains where you can barely see the end of your hood if you're driving in it, pouring here where I'm at. So be careful. As we look at Clark, all good there. We got some showers back out here to the west, southwest of Jackson, Mississippi this morning. Tuscaloosa, y'all are still getting it as we watch this rain. Again, some showers creeping into Kemper County out of Neshoba County there. Highway 16, y'all be prepared. You're going to get a good thunder boomer as it crosses 495 and 493 here in the next little bit. But again, the heavy rain right here, Highway 19, y'all be careful. All of these Highway 494s, these two-lane roads out through here are just dangerous on mornings like this. So thank y'all. All right, we're going to be back in about roughly 1 hour. I might have talked a little long this morning as we got into all of this. But good morning to you. Glad you're joining us. Linda Culpepper, Beth Vick, so many of y'all. Wanda Jackson, thank y'all for being a part of this. Janet Berg, how are you today? Thank y'all. We'll be back, as always, updating you and giving you street-by-street coverage when weather gets nasty. I want to make sure that you know where it is and how close it is to you. Be careful, and we'll see you in about an hour as we'll go live with the morning show. As Candace gets prepared, she doesn't want to get her hair wet. She's probably got her husband standing by with an umbrella to walk her to the door. Anybody want to make bets? We'll see you soon, starting at 8 here with Scotty Ray and Candace. Thank y'all for dropping by.
Scotty Ray's weather is brought to you by